scholars to obtain his PhD degree. That is, till now he has the 5 scholars have been awarded PhD degree under his guidance, and 8 scholars are registered under his supervision. He has also been guiding the MTech and MSc students for the research projects, and he has a vast administrative experience that he has served as associate dean students, associate dean faculty, coordinator School of Basic Sciences, IT Patna, faculty in charge, that is Institute lecture ID Patna, co-coordinator preparatory courses IT Patna, and co-coordinator Department of Physics ID Patna. He is since 2013. In 2013, he is the faculty in charge library. He has been the secondary in charge library from 2008 to 2012. He has published more than 100 research papers in international journals and in AIP conference proceedings. He has several presentations in the conferences, that is about 67 presentation in several conferences, and he has been invited for the talks. That is, there are 28 invitations in his credit. So we are very happy. We are very honored to have you in this session of the SDP, which is on research methodology. Now I invite you to proceed with your lecture. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, madam. Actually, I did not know that you are going to read all these things, and beyond this, there are so many works. And because as a teacher, you have to do a lot. And before going to the talk, let me thanks to Seema madam, you and others, and who have initiated this. And really, it is very interesting in this lockdown, and we are trying to nurture the research in not only in Patna, but not limited to Bihar, also to the country, that how to bring back the research to the country. And thank you very much for giving me opportunity to share my experience, and that I have gained in last 21 years in this research field. And throughout my career, I have been in the associated with IIT, started my career and continued as a researcher, then faculty, and like that. So with this experience, I'll just share, and although the talk is very technical, but I come to know that there are the art students and all, but still I'll try to pass the message that exactly what do you mean by the research, and why do you need the research methodology, and is the instrumentation is a hurdle, or instrumentation is the integral part of it, and when you do the instrumentation, why should I do, and how to present the data. It is not that if I have an instrumentation, instrument with me, can I do the research, and can I produce something with the that instrument. So this will be, at the end, we will clear ourselves, and I have only 50 minutes, I think, because 10 minutes is gone, but I will try to finish it within the time. So before going to the talk, let me, as you know, this is a fashion that to show the slide, but generally I don't believe on that, but let me share the slide, then I'll tell. And can you see the slide?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Yeah. So I am switching up my video so that means bandwidth will be allowed to do, and at the end I can again.
Yeah. Okay.
Do it. Okay, fine. So that the topic is importance of instrumentation and research methodology and error analysis. So before going to this, and I will share a very interesting story, because I can tell you that when I came to Patna, people say that a lot about the Patna, because I have been here continuously since 2005 to 8 as a say JE representative from IIT Guwahati. Since 5, 6, 7, then even 8, I visited, and finally I shifted and joined in IIT Patna. So that time I know that this city, and I did not go through it, and I came here. The people say that the higher education already dead in Bihar or the Patna, but after I joined and I proved that it is not like that. So please listen the real story, what has happened to me. I will share with you, and always I share when I see the people around the Bihar, and I share. And actually, I have produced 8 PhDs till today, and maybe my CV is not updated. I send it. I'm sorry. So out of which, and the continuously 5 students were from the Bihar. So let me tell that the first student when I took, he was from Purnia. We did not have anything. We have some room in the transit campus. It is just back of the Patliputra, that Sai Mandir. So few rooms, not exactly right now. If you go, you will see, but exactly it is not in only few rooms. When the student came, he said that what to do. I told that we'll do the research, right? So please listen carefully. You will understand that what do you mean by the research, and my talk starts from there because it is the research methodology. So what to do? I settled the lab, and with a few thousand rupees, I got it from the dean, and really, if I remember, I got only 32,000 the approval. So we got some chemicals and some, one or two hot plates, then we started preparing some sample, and you will be surprised to know, I come to know that there was a XRD machine. XRD machine was in Patna University. I thanks to Professor Ramandra Narayan. He allowed us that to come there and do the experiment. I personally went with the student, and we started the machine, because you know that in Patna University they were working, and coming there we did it, and you will be surprised to know the most cited paper in my research. It is out of the only XRD patent from Patna University. You can imagine. I did not do the instrumentation, anything in IIT Patna, just with their help. I did. By the way, Sar is also one of the co-author, because I used his machine and talked with him, and we switched on. So he's also one of the author. So this is the story. Why did I tell you that? It is the research is not a difficult task. It is the most easiest job when we talk about the profession. Please take it granted that research is the most easiest job, even if it is the easiest job compared to a clerical job. It is the easiest job. Because why I say this? Because research, and you will understand at the end of the talk. And although it is technical, but I will take away you from the technical, and I will prove it that it is the easiest job. Why we say the research? But problem is that we have pretended it, we have projected it. It is the most difficult job when we talk about our professor. Okay, but I project it that it is the most easiest job. Let us see that means why I say it is a easiest job to this. At the end we will discuss about it. And with this note, let me tell that whatever I have collected some slides and this thing, how we do the instrumentation or this thing. So this is basically, first I will tell you that how to read the book or information. We have internet, we have everything. Then the second point is the very, very important. Please don't think that which I have written it. I have written it with my experience. The first thing, next thing is observation and formulation. Observation and formulation. Then it is the error analysis. Please, even if you are an art student or you are a commerce student, don't feel that what error I will do. Error is only related to the instrument. No, I'll give one example. Suppose we say that psychology, somebody is doing the psychology research, and methodology is that to collect the data and conclude, that is the observation, collect the data, then conclude that what is the behavior of human being, right? So particular area. Suppose it is the research problem. And another example I will say, suppose you are doing some research of a language, okay, research of some language that you have taken that, okay, Patna Sahib, and what language people are using, what word, particular word they are using, I want to do formulation. But you will find that when you collect the observation, when you collect the data, you will find that some of the people, the same word, they speak different way. Few people, 10 people, 15 people. So what you will do the formulation, you will say that 85%, and when your result in any research, irrespective of the field, when any research, the data matches beyond your 90%, then we say that this is this word, the people speak this word, but still you have the error. And please, if you want to prove it, go to the psychological, human psychology, data research of psychology. You will find the very interesting. They will write that, okay, a human being will behave like this, but immediately they will write that how many data has been collected and in what basis it is done. So problem is that we miss those error analysis. Each and every research field, it is the observation and formulation. While you are observing and formulating, you have to, when you give the data, you have to give the error. That is the important. Then it is the error analysis is most important, because research is only observation and formulation. Please, you listen carefully, it is observation and formulation. So observation, so it does not a difficult task. I am walking, I can observe. Okay, tree is growing, I can observe. And some instrument, I am getting the data, I can observe. So next it comes the formulation. Formulation is very simple. We do the formulation based on the theories available with us. So where we are lagging, basically we are not equipped ourselves very nicely the formulation. Irrespective of the subject, we are not equipped with the formulation in the better way. That's what we fear, that research is a very big thing. No way. So this formulation, what is that equipped with the formulation? Basically, previously people have observed and formulated. People have observed and formulated. You are doing the research on that. People have observed and formulated. If I don't know their formulation, I cannot comment, and I cannot do in the better way. That's what I want to say, that with my experience, and one has to be very, very strong in foundation. That is nothing but the formulation by others.
मतलब अगर कोई भी देख के बता दो आप मास्क लगाए हुए हैं.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, now you are audible.
Okay. So that is the then I will leave it. This is my talk. I will tell you that error analysis, although it will be technical, because I did not know, otherwise I could project it in different way. But I will tell you that means everybody has to follow it. It is not that only the science people has to follow it. That I will say you. Then some examples of the instrument. I will say that when you get the data, what happens to it when you don't know the formulation of the others. So what I conclude, that you have to observe, you have to formulate, then you have to do the error analysis, then your data is over. Without error analysis, there is no definition of the research. Okay. So there is a question, if you look into that, what is the color of bird? So if I ask to the audience, I'm not opening to you because it is not a physical meeting. So let me talk. What is the color of bird? How you will tell that what is the color of bird? You see that this question, is it a physics, it is a chemistry, or it is a philosophy, or it is a psychology, right? It is a psychology. So that question comes, see, there the research starts. So what is the color of bar? So people just look into that visible, and somebody told something, and if you have color blindness and somebody see the yellow, somebody see it green, it may happen. So how to conclude it? What is the color of the bird? Now you see the technological advancement. Suppose you have a machine which can detect only black and white. My technology is not advanced that I can detect any color. So what happens? Somebody is doing the experiment and birds are flying in front of the machine and it is recording. So what happened? And he or she got it that suppose 5 out of 5, 4 white and 1 black. So what happened? That researcher wrote it. The researcher wrote it. What wrote? The color of the birds is white. Listen carefully. Color of bird is white because, and when write the white, and if does not write the error there, plus or minus that 1. I counted 4, 5, then 4 are the white. So I hope the colors are the all are the white, but 1 may be the mistake or maybe the error in the instrument. Error in the instrument, right? So if you don't write, if you just write the conclusion, the color of the bird is white, then you see the next researcher when it comes. So what happened? So suppose he or she got a reverse way and 4 black, 1 white. You see that. What will happen? He or she will confuse. But if he or she observe that, okay, that is the very important that it is there is the some black, the other researcher observe. So what happened? And that other researcher will, no, don't say that bad color is white. It is white or black. So what happened? Over the period, if you make an instrument which can detect the color later, like we had the black and white camera, then color camera, and like that, when the instrument is there, I'm giving the simplest example you will understand. So what happened? So then experiment repeated and people again predicted, then that theory or that observation gone. So why do we do that? Because we do the formulation so that we do the formulation with the observation so that we can keep on advancing towards the problem solved in our social things like philosophy or psychology. When we do some formulation, observation, why do we do that? Because later that formulation we can apply in other places, in other situation, so that we can get the solution. That's what we do the formulation. So no research is beyond the observation and the formulation. Everything is observation and formulation. So I think you will understand that it is the easiest job. So why we make it difficult? Because we are not equipped with the previous formulations properly. Either it is philosophy or it is psychology or it is physics or chemistry, whatever it is. We have to first equip ourselves in a better way with the previous formulation. That's what it is the foundation. If it is done, then you will be the best researcher. Nobody can stop you. So research are basically, it is divided into the 5 categories, basically descriptive versus analytical, or applied versus fundamental, quantitative versus qualitative. Mostly what happened, and why I stop it here, because others are, you understand that either you do the descriptive versus analytical, okay, or you go for the applied research directly. It is implemented to this, and mostly the engineering researches we do that. It is the means basically applied means that designing, and designing, that is the research is almost all engineering researches are the designing, that is the applied. And the fundamental means nothing but to understand the nature, how the nature, it is observation again, no difficulty, only observation to the nature, that is the fundamental research. Then when you go to the quantitative versus qualitative, when you say the quantitative research, then you have to give the exact data. Qualitative means you collect the data and give a thoughtful principle. But when you go to the quantitative, that will be the law principle. Okay, so that qualitative, you are either we are doing the principle or the law. So this is basically law and principle versus then conceptual versus empirical. Either you are doing the just concept or you are going the empirical values. Okay, there are the other types, like I'll give the example. If somebody is doing the research on the character of Draupadi, character of your Arjun. So what if when the people read lots of documents, then they conclude that what the character, and they give the color of their thought and connecting with the society problems, and they give a color. So that's what you will see, that there are lots of other books related to that. So these are the basically different kind of research. They don't follow or fall on those points. Please don't think that those research are bogus or anything. Any kind of research is important for the society. So then if you okay, so when somebody is going to the research, there are the different stages in the research. That is the selecting the topic of research, explaining the research, then survey of literature. It is very, very important. I told you that your formulation, that one has to keep the record of the previous formulation. That is the survey of literature. Don't think that only the journal paper, also the textbook is part of the survey of literature. Then reference collections that you have to collect, then assessment of present status of the selected topic, not only the history, but also the present status, then the hypothesis and its formulation connected to that research, then the design of the research, then real investigation, that is nothing but your observation. Then you come to the analysis, and it goes back to the formulation, hypothesis and its formulation. And by using that, you have to analyze. Then result interpretation, that your error comes into that point. Then you write the report of the research, and if you follow it, and definitely nobody can stop you to be a great researcher. You are in any field, it is not matter what is it will be do. So the no research without having an objective. That is the most important, that objective. Please don't think that, okay, I am doing in the nanoscience, nanomaterial, I am the great in the research. It is not like that. So if you have fixed your good objective, then you are definitely a good researcher. Then the most important, we are talking about the methodology. Methodology should be the previous invented methods. Okay, please don't think that you will be design a methodology. Methodology should be clearly written that what previously it is followed. If you don't define, then your research output will be zero. Methodology is most important, and outcome or utilization of your research, most important. The two factors you have to do that when you are picking up the methodology. You see, I did not say that you will design your methodology. I will come back and some question will come to your mind. Sir, I can design my own methodology. No. If you design your own methodology, that research is different. Your objective is to design a new methodology. Please remember. So when you are going to the methodology, then methodology should be based on the trust to the others. Trust to the others means there is echo. So trust to the others. Others means the researcher. One researcher should trust to the other researcher that he or she has reported. She has reported the data or the observation or formulation correctly. Then the ethics. The point is very, very clear. The ethics. Ethics means while you are reporting to gain something, please don't think that all research means we think that, oh, he or she got some result and I should get it. No, it is not like that. It is the observation and formulation. I observe it and this is my formulation. I understand this. Okay, so that is the ethics. When you are observing, you be clean in the mind that what you observe on the research, that is the ethics. Please keep in mind, don't forget the great researcher in this society. Everybody will be agree with me that the modern researcher is the Einstein, who said what he said. He said that if somebody is saying that he or she does not do any mistake in the life, that means he or she has not done anything. That means he was trying to say, if you do something, there will be mistake. Please don't feel that you are doing. But if you keep your ethics, that mistake is not your mistake. That will point out by somebody. You have kept your ethics. So by mistake and mistake happen. So others will be pointed out. Okay, then this is the mistake. So please remember, if you want to take the research as your career, if you follow these 5 methods, nothing, you will be definitely will be a very good researcher. Okay, with this note of the research, just motivational, you come back, and I think these are the words. It may not be very familiar to the people are from the arts, but you know that. Okay, I'll make it very simple. You see that if today, and the second line, you see that it is written Bigha. This word is familiar. I think if you are from Bihar, and definitely you are very, very familiar with this Bigha. And if you look into the ancient literature in Bihar also, you will find that there are the Ona, Gauni, Tula, and those are the words we use locally, that is the units. But if I write this unit on my research paper or research finding, do you think the people will be accepting it? No. It is not matter that which research I am doing. I will say that I am preserving my language. No, it is not like that. That the formulation we have done it in a different way, like the fundamental units we have formulated already. So that you preserve it, you preserve Bigha, but always you have to speak the conversation of Bigha. It is irrespective of any research. You have to write it in the SI unit. What everybody is follow. You cannot write a book, you cannot read a book, and which is in the local unit. You can use, you can preserve, but what is the ethics? You have to convert it. Okay, everybody should know what is the unit, and fundamental unit, it is a for our, can I
Sir, you are not audible.
No. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, now you are audible.
Yeah. They actually host their on meeting between, so maybe that is okay. Fine. So I hope everybody understand that what do you mean by the formulation, the observation over the period in the locally people who are using lots of different units, and finally we come together as a world society to have a single unit to follow. But I cannot argue, I cannot say that, okay, this is my local unit and I have to preserve. You preserve, no problem. But don't make it the enforce to the others, because as a society, we have accepted it. Similarly, any field you do the research, that you have to look into that, what is the latest formulation. All the formulation, everything has to be connected to the latest formulation. If you don't do that, then you will be in trouble. So these are the fundamental units we have taken. Everybody, if you go to the market and everywhere, you have to see these units and the things. Okay, fine. So I will be going to the different topic and this, and please listen carefully if you are from the arts background. So when you go and read the book, how to read the book, how to pick up, and how to note the observation from the book. That is the very, very important. I will give you example from the sciences. I am from the science background. That's what I'll give the example. But I think the art students or the biology and anything, they can go to their own subject and realize. Basically, we have fixed our language. When we talk about any subject, our language is fixed. So when language is fixed, so what happens that you have to look that which language we have used. So like when you go to a physics book, you pick up, first of all, you have to look into that book is written in which algebra. It is a vector algebra or a matrix algebra or a tensor algebra. What happened, and similarly, if you go to the suppose philosophy book you are reading, there are the different philosophers. So you have to look into that. This book of philosophy is written in based on whose philosophy. So that is the most important. Every philosopher or every formulation will have a set of language. But if you look into the thought conclusion, you will find that it is the single conclusion. For example, I'll give a very good example. You just pick up, and please excuse me, I'll take some name of some religion book, and you pick up either Quran or Bible or the Gita. Out of these three, you pick up. You'll find that. Let us talk about the Gita. The Gorakhpur, everybody knows the Gorakhpur. There is a Gita press. So that Gita press is published some Gita. And the Gita, if you go to the ISKCON, they have produced the Gita. This example you take, and you will understand what exactly what it says. If you read the book, you will find the versions are different, and this thing. But if you read the entire book, you will find only single conclusion, and which is the conclusion also in the Quran and Bible, and all conclusion are in the religion in the single conclusion. Even if you compare the Quran and Bible, if you look the literature, you will find only the single conclusion. That is nothing but Paropakar Sargaya Narkaya Parapidakam, and we call it that if you help to the others and your knowledge will increase, and if you are distributing knowledge and your knowledge will increase, you are the most gainer. We could call about this. That is nothing but the philosophy. Either it is written either Gorakhpur Press, or it is written from the ISKCON, or it is written, Bible is written in India, or it is written in USA, or Quran is written in Pakistan or India, but you will find the conclusion is same. Conclusion, the conclusive statement is the same. Similarly, when you are reading the book, conclusive statement is same, but methodology or the explanation will be different. So that's what I say that in the physics language, when you are reading the book, and that in the physics, that is similarly I told to the in arts, when you are reading, please follow that what exactly philosophy, or also don't read the books who has not followed a single language, or a language means the single philosophy. So like if you are reading and somebody read, when somebody is writing Bible, and something read from India, conclusive from USA, from Europe, and mix it and write something, and it will be very difficult to others to understand. I'm not saying that you write from Indian perspective and don't send it to the USA. No, you send it. But when you are writing in the Indian perspective, you have to follow it. But similarly in the physics, when you are reading or the book, first you look that the author really has kept the audience or the reader in a proper track. Either it in a vector algebra, or it in a matrix algebra, or it in a tensor algebra. Don't try to cross-link it, because they are the different way to express our physics. These are the different algebra. You cannot cross over it. And sometimes we call about, oh, current is a vector or a scalar. We confuse because, or somebody who will be from backside will tell the tensor. Please don't mix up it. When you are saying the vector scalar, tensor is not coming there at all because it is a vector algebra. I have to be in vector algebra. Similarly, if you go to the mechanics and everybody listen that, oh, Newton came and did something, everybody heard about it, and then Einstein came and Dirac, quantum mechanics and all those things. Very simple. Formulations are very, very simple. When you are reading the book and you look into that, the book is written. Book means it is explained the physical phenomena, observation and formulation. So this formulation has to be only in one mechanic. I cannot say this particle, oh, nanoparticle, they are the quantum. No, why quantum? And it is not like that. It is why we say the quantum, because I cannot observe it. Very simple answer. I cannot observe it. Okay, so that's what I have to take the help of a different mechanism, the philosophy mechanism to explain it. So that's what I've taken the help of quantum mechanics or statistical, okay, or relativistic. So, but never you cross-link with the theories, the formulation. One has to be very, very strong on the fundamental theories what the research problem is formulated. So I avoided that. This is very technical, I told, and there are the different way to express this. I'm not going through it, and if you want, you can do it that I told. You see that even if art student easily they can understand. You see that I tell that classical mechanics, mass and velocity, only two. You have a mass, you have a velocity. Please listen carefully. When both are in the observable, observable means what a human being can see and observe. That is the classical. When I take the formulation, mass cannot be observable in reference to the classical mechanics, we call it the quantum mechanics. Similarly, velocity, what cannot be light velocity, I cannot observe, that is not observable, that is nothing but the velocity of the light. So then when it tends to the sea, I say the special theory of relativity. You see that the formulation restrictive to use the concept of one mechanics to the others. You cannot use. But what we do, we try to correlate and make confusion ourselves. So that is the conclusion that what we say, do that when you go for the reading any books. Please listen and don't think that you are a arts student or the science student. When you are reading the book, I to give the example of the physics, very simple, but please try to connect to your own books. First, if you want to do the research, if you want to do the research, become the researcher, please you increase your you be equipped with the formulation, irrespective of your subject. If you are equipped, well equipped, and definitely nobody can stop you to be a great researcher. But don't think that if you are a great researcher, nobody can stop you to be sitting on the boat. Okay, you cannot. So basically, and please you see that there are the parameter measurement, and when you go to the measure the physical parameter, it is
यही
just
करना है
ठीक है
क्लास चल रहा है
स्कूल है
hello, I got a sound, sorry. Hello, hello.
It's okay. You can continue. I think somebody talked.
Okay, okay, fine, it's okay.
Sorry.
No problem. So you see that when you are doing some physical parameter, it is physical parameter may be scientific or it may be other subject. So the parameter you are measuring, then you go to the sensor or actuator. The sensors are something different. Let me give one example. Because technical people understand easily that sensor actuator. Let me give a social example. Suppose you see that in today's world, what happened that people write the coding for the online shopping. Nobody has thought about it in the online shopping. And if you go to the wave, you will find that what happens, the people keep on clicking in your mobile, oh, this has reduced this much. And have you thought that means why they do like that? Means you don't require some item, but sometimes you click on the wave. So they track your mobile number and they keep on pushing you that you do it. You see, this is a scientific coding is written. It is a scientific problem and research. But the people, and you're surprised to know, they have taken all the formulation from your social science, all the formulation. What is that? They collect the data, observation, they formulate. They understand the human psychology, that they incorporated into the software. That's all. Okay, so today's world is all about that. They are shaking the hands of this machine learning, and machine learning is nothing but they are trying to do the human psychology to the machine. So that is the machine learning, they are trying to do it. So basically that is the sensor, it is the sensor. So when somebody is observing, please, as an art student, you are going and you are taking the interview of some students, some people. And who is the sensor here? Your brain. How you are observing, please don't utilize your brain. You follow the formulation or methodology. That if somebody speaks this, where I will write, which column I have to write and what I have to write. If you use your sense of brain, then this is the problem. Your here sensor is your formulation. Each and every subject has the particular formulation. So that's what when you measure the parameter, then you should have, now you have to transfer your observation with the transducer. Basically, it change the energy from one form to the another form, that is the transducer, then indicator or recorder, then finally you have to do the error analysis. So we say that the accuracy, precision, then the uncertainty. Okay, so accuracy is the closeness of agreement between a measured value and true value or accepted value. Measurement error is the amount of inaccuracy. Then precision is a measure of how well a result can be determined without referencing a theoretical or true value. I will not follow anything. I am doing a different research. I will say that, okay, I have taken, by taking all the precaution, I have taken the data I have formulated. So this is my precision. Okay, if anybody repeat it, they will get within this error, this is the value. It is the degree of consistency and agreement and the independent measurements of the same quantity, irrespective of your subject. You have to follow this, and either you do the accuracy or precision, but both are important. You have to mention in your research. The uncertainty estimate associated with the measurement should account for both the accuracy and precision of the measurement. So that is the importance of this. And error, basically actual value, how it is deviated from the observed value. So that is the, basically you say the error. So this error can be systematic error and the random error. Okay, these are the very, very important factor that as a researcher, when you are trying to find out the some observation and the formulation, when you are going to do that, the error comes maybe because of you or maybe because of the environment. Okay, so that's what the, when it is the because of you, that is the, or system error, so that is the, always it will be there. You cannot do anything with it. You cannot do anything. Then random error, if it is the situation dependent. Suppose you are talking with the people in a bus stand, or you are talking with the people in the railway station, their mental state may be different and they may approach to the problem in different. So what it will happen? Language may be different. So what it will happen? That you cannot change it. So if you go to the instrumentation, the systematic error and random error, also you cannot do it. System has an error. It has a problem with the engineering design when you go to the instrument, technical instrument. And the random error, so with the temperature it is fluctuating. What can you do? You cannot do anything. You cannot do anything. Only you can minimize this. So this systematic error and the random error are difficult to do it with the These errors that are not revealed through an entire set of measurements are termed systematic errors. Systematic errors may arise because of instrumental defect or experimental bias. I'm trying to connect to your social science in the different places and different environment. Then instrumental error is the zero offset. Instrument does not read zero when input is zero. You don't get it. Suppose you are talking with somebody and he or she started speaking something. Okay, so that error you cannot. Then what happen? Instrument or changes of calibration condition, so which you have to calibrate. You have to stop it, him or her. Please wait. Let me ask the question. Then only you can speak. So these errors always it is there. Don't think that only science people has to go read the error and this thing. No, each and every people has to understand first as a researcher what is the error. Then experimenter's bias is very dangerous. That who is doing the experiment. Okay, this is a common source of error arising from some bias of the experiment, difficult to eradicate. For example, parallax error in reading an analog meter. Encounter if care is not taken to view the indicator. I told that if you use your brain, your reference, then it is finished. So my request is that if you want to be a researcher, please follow the instruction given or the formulation is given. So this random errors, that is the fluctuation in the recording of data or in the instrument measuring process, result in random errors. The effect of random errors can be minimized by appropriate processing techniques. So the maximum possible error, this everybody can measure in the research. Okay. So for the technical people, let me say that, and this you know in your basic, if you go to the PLOST book, only PLOST book you see it, but never you realize it. That when you are measuring one parameter, if it is dependent in other parameters, how they related. Okay, so nothing but this maximum possible error is the most important factor for any researcher. You have to report it the maximum possible error, because random error and systematic error you cannot control. But maximum possible error is common for everybody. Suppose you have used an equipment, that's what I was telling. You have to follow the formulation, or you have to follow the equipment. If you give the equipment model, that's what when you write a scientific paper, always the referee or the people say that you write the model. Why? Because the model tells that the equipment you are using, the model tells that what maximum possible error in your parameter. Okay. So this is a common formula. Please excuse me. I'll tell the science students, please. It is very simple. Look into that. Suppose you are measuring a parameter y, and it depends upon the two parameter, three parameter x1 and x2 with the value m and n. Take the example v is equal to IR. You are measuring voltage, it depends upon the current and the resistance, so that it is the best example to understand. But when you are measuring other parameters, you see that you are measuring the parameter y, and it has a constant c, because c does not have to do anything with the error, but x1, x2 has to do the error. What you do, you just differentiate it and find out the list count of the equipment and divide this, and you find the error. Error is nothing but the list count of the equipment. Question is coming list count. An equipment can have the different list count. How? Suppose you are measuring 1 volt, you are measuring the 1 millivolt, the list count will be different for that same equipment. So list count will be depend that what you are measuring. But we have studied in our basic that this instrument list count is the least measurement you can do. But you have to look into that. Modern scientific instruments are coming with the different knob. The question is that where you have put the knob. That is the list count. It is not that equipment has made the list count. The knob you have put means which parameter, that will decide that what will be the list count. I hope I could try. I tried to give you the message that either you do with the any research that your formula will be always delta y by y. That is nothing but your research error. Then m is the parameter, delta x1 by x1. x1 is your measure parameter. measurable parameter. Then you write this m and mn where the parameter means exponents should have come this side multiplied. Then x2 is the measured value and delta x2 is your least count. Least count already I told you that what is the minimum measurement you do by this instrument in the condition you have put it, not that instrument where how much it can give. Okay, so even you are measuring, or even if you go to the social problem or any research problem, that time also you have to find. And please remember, any research without giving the maximum possible error, the parameter has no meaning. In the beginning I told it is a quantitative research if you are doing. If you are giving a quantitative, when you are doing the qualitative it does not matter, but if you do the quantitative research you have to give the error. Without error you cannot. And there is an example that resistivity, if you are measuring pi r square b by L into I, L is the length. If you are measuring V, you are measuring R, you are measuring L, and you are measuring I. So all will be added depending upon the power will be multiplied, and depending upon that and the instrument if you put, this will, if you look into that, never I use the negative on the formula because error is always added. So even if in the differentiation it comes negative, you have to make it positive. I think I pass you the message that what is the importance in the error importance in your research when you do the instrumentation, then relative uncertainty, then relative error, uncertainty, that measured quantity, that measured value minus expected value by expected value. Basically, when we say the maximum possible error, that is nothing but the uncertainty, not the error. And but conventionally people use the error word. We are also using, but that is mostly the maximum possible error. So this random error and systematic error, I told that there are the examples that it cannot be avoided. So your system, when you do the research, it can happen that the error, you see that there are the examples that to realize what exactly happened. The ideal system may be a straight line, you are getting a curve. One has to be very, very careful. There may be hysteresis. One has to be very, very careful to do the error analysis when you do the research. Okay, madam, how much time I have?
I think 10 minutes, 10 minutes you can take more.
Okay, fine, fine. So I think I pass you the message, and these are the technical point of view. This when we go to the research, and in the beginning I told that what is the color of the bird. Very interesting, and with the technology you see that, and I have written a very interesting word, and it may be thanks God who began his immense work of creation by giving on heaven and earth this wonderful gift of light, which has vital importance for the world. Even today, when we refer to the birth of a child, we still say he saw the light of the day. This was written by the Einstein on his biography. Basically, at the end of his life, he started talking about the point. With the Poincare, he gave the theory of light, and that time, and he realized this is the light. And you see that
एनालिसिस इंपॉर्टेंस रखता है, ये सब तो मतलब फोकस करना चाहिए था आपने.
Hello. Hello. Okay.
Continue, sir.
Okay, fine. So that basically, so what happened that when you do the when we do the research, you see that chronologically we have developed the microscopy to find out the means to understand this beautiful world. Okay, but if you take a visible light and when you do it in the when you look into the error or the precision for by using a light means it is your visible light, then what you get, if you take it, what you get, and with the previous formulation, I'm not going to this, and you can, if you are a technical fellow, you can go through it. But if you are going to the resolution with the previous formulation, then you get that, and below 200 nanometer, I cannot see. Okay, so that's what the people look into the electron later, and when technology developed and they developed it, but I will not take you into the details this thing because others will be very boring. I'll just show you some picture. I'll tell you that what happens when you look to a observation. You see that in these three figures, the observation is that you see the same value. So I'm trying to relate that why you have to be very careful when you have taken a observation. When you have taken an observation in any field, when you take it, and this example, as a technical fellow, I just want to tell you, the first figure, if you see, there is a very bright line, and in the middle figure, there is no bright line, and in the bottom, there is a dark line. And so, if you are a researcher and you are looking to it, if you are looking to it, you should understand. Again, you have to be good to it in the formulation that exactly which one I should accept. Which one I should accept. It can be any kind of research that you have to be observed properly. A good observer can understand the middle one. It is the best picture. How? Because with your fundamental basic knowledge, you have to understand. If you don't increase your fundamental knowledge, then the top one and bottom one may be good for you. You will not realize that really these pictures are not better. So the question is that you will say that what will happen to it? It will give you a wrong result. It will give you a wrong result. You can see that the size is means it has been bigger in the other figures compared to the middle one. So that's what I say, that when you instrumentation you are doing, it is the major role on your research when you are taking a data from the instrument. So these are the some of the figures I've taken. I'll not make you bore. And again, you see that when you see this picture, it is again from an electron microscopy. You'll find that, and some pictures are black, some pictures are white. And as an observer, I am observer. It is the instrument has given me this picture, and I am an observer. So that as an observer, it will decide how to write it. If I write, okay, this is the rod, it is coming, and something like that, as an observer, if I write it like that, the reviewer will say that what is the difference? So difference that how you can say this, why some are the black and some are the bright. So as an observer, I have to first understand why some of are the bright and some of are the dark. So white is here, and the bright are nothing but the more electrons are there, and dark it is the less electron. This is the formulation. We have done it, and when we are taking, first I should understand the formulation, then only I can do my observation and write a good report, or then be a good researcher. So here also you see that there are some pictures and very bright. So these are the different regions that it is there. Why they are the bright? Because there are the electron charging it takes place. So these are the results. You see that if you look into the picture as an observer, and if I asked the question to the audience, if you are a layman, and this picture you will say that, oh, there are the very beautiful color, okay, but unfortunately there is no color. It is a black and white picture. As an observer, scientific observer, I will say it is a black and white picture. It is not a colorful picture. So now you will be surprised. You see that observation, how you are looking to the observation. If you are a good researcher, it is a FM picture, atomic force microscopy. But as an observer, I look into that. As a researcher, I look into that. Oh, this is a black and white picture. Okay, but to the other world, it will look that it is colorful. So I think the audience should confuse. Oh, what is he saying that it is color? It is not color. Exactly, if you look into the color, you see that it is a single color. Either it is dark or it is bright. Okay, it is a dark or a bright. So that's why the people put it. If I don't equip myself or understand that exactly it is what is going on, and I can say okay, this particle, bright particles are this and dark particles are this. It is not like that. So when you are as a researcher, you observe, you have to be very, very careful. Am I equipped to do that observation and make some formulation? So that is my view that to do, and similarly that beautiful world already we have done, and see, I'll not take you to this world. And again, and, please excuse me, I'll tell you that when you calculate the particle size out of some X-ray diffraction pattern, that instrumentation you are doing, one has to understand when a peak you are observing, the observer has to understand why this is coming. Then only you can do the analysis. And if you have different kinds of material, these are the formulation. Already it is present. I have to understand that I have to equip myself that what exactly it is. If it is a crystal, how it would look like. If it is a liquid, how it would look like. If it is a monoatomic gas, and how it will be look like. So this is basically this pattern. When you look into the peak, they will have the different contributions from the peak. So if I know this, then I can easily analyze. You see that means peak, it is divided into this. So these formulations first I should know. Then only I can go for the analysis, so that I can do a better way to do the analysis and report the result. And if you are interested to understand that more on about it, and always you can contact, and I'll be definitely. And these are the some of the our results that I see, and there are also the spectroscopic method which can be done with the instrumentation. Again, one has to also understand. You see that in the same sample and so many spectra is coming, and if I don't understand it, I can mess up it. But you, in the bottom figure, you see nicely a very interesting result has been drawn from the curve. And the top curve, it looks like, oh, something it is the hazy, but from that observation, you see a nice curve, a nice formulation in the bottom figure has been drawn. So these are the examples that how to do, and there are the other methods also, the instrumentation when you go, and what is the message that with this example. If you want to be researcher, I am not going to tell you that exactly what is the analysis on this, but the conclusion is that when you go, please first you equip with that exactly what formulation is behind it, then you can do this. So the take-up message from this, what I want to tell, instrument has a big role on research. It is irrespective of any subject, instrumentation is a very, very important. And so defining research problem and methodology is the crucial point to start. Without reporting error, research has no meaning. One should avoid the human error while in doing the experiment or trying to collect the data and anything, and without utilizing your own brain, you should follow the formulation. Only methodology error is reported, that what methodology you have adopted, and there what kind of what is the maximum possible error that you have to be reported. And trust to each other in research is the most important parameter to conclude your research output. Ethics has high value in research. Try to avoid mistake, which is the integral part of the research. What is the integral? Mistake is the acceptable. Mistake will be there. I told that when you do something, definitely there will be mistake, but as a researcher, one has to avoid the mistake. So that is the message I would like to give to the audience, that if you want to take the research, I hope I make you understand that research is the most easiest job if you are equipped with the fundamental of the particular research problem. If you are equipped yourself with the fundamentals of the research problem. And that is the all about me. And thanks for the attention. And once again, I thank you to all. And I don't know I could convey the message or not, because this audience is very mixed up. So I hope you understand what I would like to speak. And by the way, this is also the picture of the Patna. And keep in mind, this picture says that how the research carried out, and I've written chaos and interaction, but no cross-link. Chaos and interaction, but no cross-link between anybody. You see that there is no cross-link when you go to the Patna station. So many people, but no cross-link. But they make a very beautiful world. And similarly, our material world, or our philosophy, our economics, everything, and give us the very good opportunity to pass our time. And, thank you very much. Please, I'll take the question if you have.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kar, for addressing this multidisciplinary audience. And I think we were able to comprehend you, because in the beginning you told us about the types of research, the stages of research, and later on about the importance of instruments. And naturally, the importance of instruments is more in scientific research, the types of errors there are, and how some of these errors can be avoided. Thank you so much, and for giving examples from physics, as you belong to the physics faculty. And now I request the audience to come up with the questions if they have any. Kindly raise your hands and then
Thank you, Dr. Ratna Amrit ma'am. It's my pleasure putting on record a loud and warm thanks to Dr. Manoranjan Kar sir. Sir, you spared your valuable time from your busy schedule. You enlightened all of us here by sharing your knowledge and experience. We are definitely benefited, sir. Thank you, sir. I thank Dr. Arun Kumar, sir, Coordinator IQAC, for being a torch bearer. Your vision, persuasion, and untiring effort has kept the IQAC members and organizing committee members for different activities of the college on toes and be consistently performing. It's hard to match your energy, sir. That's what we say, we talk about you. I sincerely thank the program coordinator, Dr. Preeti Sinha, program joint coordinator, Dr. Tripti Gangwar, program convener, Dr. Nisha Kumari. You conceptualized this workshop and took all pains to plan, organize, and put it in shape. Thanks to the team. I thank all the members of the organizing committee and all our faculty members who directly or indirectly remain involved to make this workshop successful. Most important, our participants. I thank all the participants of this workshop. The workshop was intended and targeted for you. Without your participation, it won't have been successful. So thanks all participants. Dr. Ratna Amrit ma'am, you deserve a special thanks for being our steering wheel as a compare. For you, I can only say that apart from being an excellent teacher, you are uncomparable as a compare. Thank you, Dr. Ratna Amrit ma'am. At last, I thank once again Dr. Manoranjan Kar sir. The students of our college will need your expert guidance in future too, sir. I am sure you will oblige us. Thank you, sir. Thanks all of you. Over to Dr. Ratna Amrit.
Thank you, Jyotishi. And thank you, Dr. Kar. It was a very interesting talk given by you. And thank you, Seemadi, for representing Arun sir today.
So I thank Arun sir. Ma'am was here. Yeah.
And thank you, Preeti Di. Thank you, Tripti Di, and all members of the core committee. And thank you all the participants. We'll meet again tomorrow at 4 p.m. sharp. But please start joining before time so that we can begin on time and the speaker gets the full time allotted to them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.